Senator Rand Paul says Trump is attempting price controls here, and he joins us now. Sir, it's good to have you back on. Price controls. I mean, it's an interesting way of saying it. I guess it's not a fair market to begin with. You know, what the Europeans have done to the market with pharmaceuticals is not fair to begin with. So if he's fighting that, I don't know that I would call that, you know, I don't know that he's the problem, right?
Well, anytime you fix prices or government fixes the prices, that's a price control. Now, you're right, the market's screwed up. It's been screwed up by government for 30 some odd years. It's not a real free market. But most of the rest of the world has fixed prices. And this is essentially one aspect of socialized medicine. Most of Europe has socialized medicine. Canada has socialized medicine. Yeah. All the prices are fixed, basically. And so the prices are fixed below the market price. Now, it's hard to tell what the world market price would be because we're the only part of the world that really has an open and free market. But what happens when you limit the, when you set a level of a price, you have to restrict choices. So if you go to get drugs in Europe or in Canada, you'll be limited on what choices you can get. It's like having a really nasty HMO where there's only 2 or 3 drugs, but the one you want isn't going to be covered, or you'll have to spend 6 months or a year going through all the choices till you can finally get to the drug works. That's the only way you can sort of limit prices. Now, I'm not completely against what the president's doing in the sense that Medicare and Medicaid are already a form of socialism. It's the government paying for health care, either partially in the form of Medicare or completely in the form of Medicaid. This is a form of government-run health care. So if the government and the taxpayer is going to pay for it, should we bid on and try to reduce the prices? Of course. And so I think the president using the leverage of the government to get lower prices is good, but realize, like right now we have competitive pricing in Medicare for seniors, and you have 5 different plans you can choose, like these HMO drug plans, and they compete with each other to try to hold costs down. If you only have one plan, the only way to get the cheapest medicine to lower cholesterol is you got to get the generic. Yeah. And it may not work quite as well as some of the later iterations.
Yeah, I don't hear a lot of better ideas on a problem that people have been complaining about for a very long time, right? He's throwing his hat in the ring, you know?
Well, I'll give you one idea, and this is an idea I brought to President Trump in the first administration. He liked it, and we actually did it through an executive order, but the Democrats sued, and we were never able to fully get it enacted. This is something called association health plans. And so my idea is that the people who don't have a drug plan and don't have insurance that covers their drugs, they're the ones that are hurt the most. The accountant with 3 employees, a doctor with 2 employees, small businesses. So what I would do is let them, through a membership in like Costco or Sam's, get a drug plan and or health insurance. And what would happen is 44 million people belong to Costco. If I represented 44 million people, you can better believe I would get an appointment with the CEO of every drug company and the CEO of every insurance company, and I would say, all right, I got 44 million lives. What will you give me now? Yeah. If I have 3, you get nothing. Right. So what we need to do is actually encourage collective bargaining for the consumer, and then the market would be allowed to work. But I promise you, if you set rigid price controls, you're going to get Venezuela. That's what they have in Venezuela, and they have no food. So socialism and price controls is not a good idea. Using leverage and negotiating lower prices for government's not a bad idea.
You know, everybody's reporting the same stories, the same spin. You turn the channel, it's always the same. But not us. We're different. We report the real news. No spin, just the facts. Turn to us, and you won't turn back.
Tune in to Rob Schmitt tonight on Newsmax.